It's not illegal, as you pointed out, it's not illegal to exchange money for sex. What's illegal is running a body house. It's illegal to communicate about prostitution. And it's illegal to live off of the avails of prostitution. So there's a kind of subtle irony in that as well.
Well, that's to stop people from setting up brothels. That's to stop pimps from, the theory is to try and stop pimps from living off the avails of prostitution. That's what that means. It hasn't worked, but neither has the alternative that's been embraced in some of Europe. In fact, Sweden has gone the opposite way, and they've decided that they liberalized their prostitution laws in the 1970s. They found it didn't work. It didn't stamp out the problems that they had hoped for. They've turned around the other way and are now charging the Johns. They don't go after the prostitutes. They charge the Johns for buying the human body of another person, which in essence is what's being done. I don't see it as a capitalist transaction. I see it as buying another human being, which fundamentally is wrong.
Brian, why don't you view it in the same way that we view, for example, somebody purchasing a massage? It's a service. It's not buying or purchasing the body of another human being.
Sex is fundamentally different than a massage. Sex is fundamentally different than you paying me $10 an hour to lay some bricks in your garden and put up a little wall. I mean, that's manual physical labor as well. But it is fundamentally different. And people know that by the fact that they say, if you ask them, would you like your wife or daughter to be a prostitute? They'll say no.
Oh, but Brian, come on. If I asked you, would you like your wife or daughter to work at McDonald's for the rest of her life as a career, what would you say to that?
I'd say if they want to do that, that's fine.
Okay,
it's a valid job. It's very different than being a prostitute.
Toilets, Brian? What about cleaning toilets as a career choice?
As a career choice, in fact, I know people that run cleaning companies. They
running a cleaning company, but doing the actual dirty work itself.
There's nothing wrong with manual labor, but there's a fundamental difference between manual labor and being a prostitute, which is why people recoil at the idea. I hear where you're coming from, but I disagree with you. And just saying it's a capitalist transaction, I don't think it makes it acceptable. Do we just then turn around and regulate it and tax it? I thought libertarians were against regulation and taxation.
Sure, libertarians are opposed in principle to regulation and taxation. But regulating and taxing the job of prostitution, the service of prostitution, which is what we're talking about here, would be a step up from having it criminal like it is right now. Now, of course, the liberty side of things is just one of the two arguments that are important here. The other one is security of the person, a charter-guaranteed right that each of us have here in Canada. And it's true that all of the things that are currently criminal, like the body houses and living off of the avails of prostitution and communication for the purposes of prostitution, all of those things push both women and men onto the streets.